Good day to you.
Good day to you, Ethan.
How are you on this day of time?
We're very well and excited to be speaking with you once more.
Yes.
Do you have a message for us for today, please?
We would like to share with you the understanding that your dreams and your desires, at the time that you have them, they are pertinent, but they are not always necessarily the thing that needs to come to fruition. They may be the thing that you need to just learn in that particular situation, that particular time, to get you to go a particular direction that you would not normally do. You may have a desire to do a particular activity, but at some point, when you realize that you're being blocked from achieving a particular level, a particular way of being, you're being guided to go down a different path that you would not go otherwise. This is allowing you to move in the direction of your highest excitement, whether you know it or not. Because understand, as you shift through and become different versions of yourself, those different versions of yourself have different desires and wants. And usually, typically, the guides that you have that circle all of us, this is the things they feed you. This is the understanding that they feed you. This is the desires that they know will help you from the long run because they, by nature, are on the mountain. They are part of your higher self. They are part of you from other incarnations. They are those greater aspects that can act as guides for you to understand more of yourself from different perspectives.
Thank you, Ethan. So basically, if I understand correctly, you're saying that experiences built on top of each other to help us learn and grow.
Yes,
And it's not necessarily the what I was thinking I want, but it's the road I'm being led to that is more important because that's going to lead me to the lessons I'm supposed to learn.
yes.
Thank you.
They
Very
are
good.
what will help you expand in your soul and your desires in the themes you particularly chose to play out in this lifetime or any other lifetime.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One of the things on my list for today was the words magic and abundance, and I can see how that relates because I think a lot of people in our current society are looking for something very specific, and perhaps that's not necessarily how much money you made or whatever you achieve, but what you've learned. Yes.
Yes. What you will find when you move along the path when it comes to the idea of following your excitement or traveling along the path that has been laid out for you by your guides, by your higher self, by any number of beings in a positive direction, is that magic is normal. Magic is in every moment, everything, every moment you breathe in your experience of creation. It's all
Yes.
synchronicity.
Thank you. A Course in Miracles says that there's no difference in there's not no such thing as a big magic or small big miracle or small miracle. They're all every moment is a miracle by itself.
Yes.
Yes.
By choosing to recreate yourself constantly over and over and over again through your experience of your physical life, you're choosing an experience, magic that you cannot have when you are non-physicality. You are not being able to experience the idea of the process that is unfolding that you do typically learn more about as you go through the process.
Thank you.
We live in a constant state of magic. In
Right.
my culture, in my people, in among my civilization, you would deem us as magical creatures
Yes.
because we live in this way at all times. Therefore, we gather energy constantly. We move through reality in a dream.
Yes. Yes, you are. From this perspective, what would abundance be?
The ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it, period.
That's it, huh?
You will be abundant in whatever you need in every moment, whatever it comes in form, whatever you need in that particular moment. It could come in the form of someone just handing you something that was perfect for that particular thing you were about to do. An idea, the ability to create, the ability to do anything. Just understanding that The abundance you need is always there constantly. Redefine your definition of abundance away from the idea of needing money, because oftentimes money is not necessarily the easiest form for it to show up in. From this particular perspective, you know that you are constantly abundant in all situations, in all places, with all people.
Yes. And it's important to appreciate the little things because they are just as important as the quote unquote big things, right?
There is no mistaking that inside of your particular language, the idea of currency, the idea of energy, also happens when you're speaking about the idea of wealth.
Would you expand on that a little bit, please?
The idea of wealth is that which amplifies. You have chosen as a culture to identify with that particular energy for a few thousand years now. So now, when you have the idea of quite a lot of money in your life, it amplifies who and what you are, the things that were already there. It just shows you what is already under the surface, much in the way that hard times do not create character, they reveal it.
Right. Is it important to have wealth as a sign of reaching certain vibrational state, or can that be done otherwise?
It is more of a side effect.
Mm.
Along the lines of the idea of wealth, in the sense that you are able to take care of yourself and put yourself in an environment and be able to act upon things more rapidly.
Right. Right.
But in the long term, no, that is not necessarily a symbol of wealth. But understand, when you are spiritually corrupt and morally corrupt, you may have wealth in one area, but not the other. But the idea is more to have a balance of having money to be able to go do things, but also having the spiritual wealth, the internal wealth, to be able to live a completely fulfilled life.
Thank you. You know, you've touched on a really good point because in our culture, especially the Judeo-Christian culture, money is connected to guilt and shame instead of maybe just process of certain focus.
Yes. Why do you think that many of you have trouble actually bringing this particular vibration into your life? Because you do not necessarily resonate with that particular vibration that is attached around the idea of money as you know it.
Yeah.
Therefore, because you do not resonate with that particular way of looking at money, it becomes infinitely more difficult for you to actually attract that particular vibration, that particular experience into your life.
Absolutely. I've also noticed, and this could be funny, but when I post a couple bills, money bills on my fridge with some magnets, I seem to it seemed to be around, and more seem to be showing up.
Yes, because you're resonating with the idea of having bills in your life.
Right. And all I have to do is just put a couple bills with a magnet, and that's it. It's right in front of me.
By no means are we saying do not pay your bills. We are more saying that if you choose to resonate with the idea of debt or owing things, you will always owe things.
Ethan, my apology. By using the word bills, I meant money, bills of money.
Yes, we
Yeah.
understood what you meant, but
Okay.
the idea of a debt itself, energetically, is more the idea of a lack.
Right. Yes, I see it. Thank you.
Therefore, in those moments when you are in lack, you are in abundance of lack.
Yes, that's a good one. Abundance of luck. Thank you. Ethan, today's our 18th episode. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you if there's anything unique to you. I know in my culture there is about the number 18 or what it means.
The 18 is the reverse of the idea of 9. You have gone through the idea of a cycle and you've finished another one. If you go through to the ideas that go along with the number 9, this allows you to see when you have reached the end of a particular cycle, whether it's a mini cycle in this sense with our particular frequencies, our particular transmissions that we have been doing for a short time now.
Would you say that 2024 is the beginning of a new cycle of 9 years, perhaps?
Yes. Dead in the middle, you will see us show up.
So about 5 years from now.
Less.
Less. Okay, very
Yeah.
good. Very good. In gematria, which is assigning values to the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, 18 means chai, means alive. So it considered a good number with abundance of life energy. Could
Yes.
you relate to that?
You're moving into an era where you will be becoming more alive in nature through your actions, through your ability, through the way you connect to reality. Whereas the lower 9, the first cycle of 9 that you have been shifting through for quite some time, you as a culture are moving past the idea of the negative aspect and moving closer and moving into the idea of a nature of pure connection to everything around you. Therefore, you'll always be living.
I see. Thank you. And by you'll always be living, you mean we'll understand the nature of our infinity?
Well, you'll be closer to the idea of your infinity. You can never truly understand your infinity unless you're at that particular level, but you
Right.
will be more rapidly expanding in your awareness and your capabilities because you will be less moving through the idea of obstruction.
Yes. In earlier sessions, you spoke of the need to have this transition gradual, and I see exactly what you mean now. How would you assess our pace as a planetary society moving through the steps here?
You're still moving through the steps. You never stop moving through the steps until you're dead, until you
Right,
transition to non physicality. And even then, you're going through different steps.
right. You know, perhaps one pinnacle point would be that the craft will land somewhere where everyone can see.
Yes.
For that to be absorbed, there has to be a lot of work done still.
Yes. You are still going through the steps. You are still going through the process.
Right, but it seems to me that perhaps um, our there's an acceleration in the openness and understanding and ascendance as us as a society.
Yes.
There is.
You're going through a time of acceleration. You're going through a cycle of 9. You're going
Right.
through the ascending portion of a cycle of 9.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you about the incoming full moon on the 24th of February. It's the 21st now,
Yes.
so 3 days from now. Is there any significance to this full moon or anything we should look for or know about it, please?
Understand that for each individual person, when you are going through the idea of a full moon, it is the idea of the finish of a cycle, the completion of a project, the completion of a particular energetic movement that you have been moving through for quite some rephrase
Yeah.
for a shorter period of your moon cycle.
And the new moon would be
The
the
start of a new one.
another cycle.
Yes. You
Right.
never stop going through cycles.
Yes. A lot of people and myself too have experienced more of a strong emotions towards coming up to the full moon and then some kind of a release. Why is that?
Yes. You, as beings, are made of water. The idea of water itself is tied to your moon. Therefore, you're feeling those particular emotions, that particular energy arise within you because it is being brought to its zenith so you can actually deal with it.
Right.
All of these things we say to you, all of these things we remind you of, it's merely to remind you that you are dealing or learning to deal with things that you could not have dealt with otherwise. Because you are moving through this particular age, these are things that are important to come to terms with.
Yes, thank you. I'll see if there's any questions here. Okay. Question from Rosemary. Can I ask about our Gosford glyphs?
This particular subject will be covered at a later time.
Thank you.
As for now, we will leave you with this. Most of those particular things are depictions of events that happened a very long time ago when ETs, extraterrestrials, beings from other worlds, were more intimately connected and walked amongst the people of your planet.
Thank you. Question from Val here. Is the secret of wealth sympathetic resonance through feelings?
This is the particular connection that you can be able to more easily connect to the idea, but understand you need to deal with the idea that is associated with whether you have negative feelings or positive feelings. If you have the idea in your head when it comes to money that money itself is negative, money itself is more of a neutral prop and is just particular energy that is assigned to it that you resonate with in the particular energy that you have associated with the idea of money is what you will project into it. So if you have the idea of guilt, fear, that only evil people have money, when you have these particular feelings and you resonate in this way, you will never be able to attract the idea of money into your life and wealth in a physical way to be able to experience it.
Right. That's why you never see rich people being victim.
Yes.
Right. Ethan, I asked my daughter, she's 9.5, almost 10, to scan the place and find any toothpaste that contained fluoride. I said, I'll give you a $20 bill if you find one. And she did come up with two or three. So I think that was a good example of using money for protecting your health. Would you agree?
Yes. Using it in a positive way. Therefore, she does not have the definitions associated with money that is evil.
Yes.
It comes to you when you provide a service, when you provide value to the world.
Yes. And she sticks those bills on the side of her mirror. And she said, "Daddy, why do that?" And I said, "Well, so you get used to it, so you know what it is." And she's just another object for her that she can deal with, articulate with.
Yes.
That's good.
You are teaching her from a safe space that is it okay to have money in your life, and there's no particular negative aspect to it. She may
Thank you.
pick up, she may pick up definitions along the way about money, but you are giving her the basis that it is just there as a tool, as an understanding, as a transfer of your energy to her.
Thank you.
Yes.
Speaking of the subject of money, here in Toronto, Canada, there are a lot of people making what we call minimum wage, and there's a lot of people make millions of dollars, and they all intermix. How come this person is playing the role of a bicycle courier, and this person playing the role of a multi-million dollar CEO?
Many of those beings that you refer to as multi-million dollar CEOs, there is many times a theme that is associated with having or needing to have that kind of money. Ultimately, to realize that the money itself is not necessarily worth it to have that amount, but they could also be doing the idea of a vacation life, but still wanting some growth.
You mean once they've reached that wealth, they can just relax a little bit?
Yes, because understand that many times people who seem to just be kind of lazing about just kind of float through life and just have all the money they need and have more money than they need could have had a lifetime previous to this one where they suffered quite greatly.
Right.
But you, as a culture, as a world, are learning through the idea of polarities that come from being in such extremes for thousands of years.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you a bit about karma. What is karma? And perhaps we're speaking of money today. Maybe you can connect the two together for us.
The idea of karma is more the recognition of balance, the recognition of what you put out is what you get back. So if you put out the frequency, the vibration of money being terrible, money being evil, only evil people have money, you are receiving back exactly the vibration that you are putting out.
Right. What does it mean when someone clears their karma?
They have come to terms and they have come into a state of balance where they see things as neutral.
And then what happens to them?
They go on to learn new things.
Right.
Understand that creation itself, it may not be infinite on the physical realm, but it is infinite in nature. It just exists. You can finish one subject in your life or finish many subjects in your life. Understand that this is a time of turbulence where many of you came to learn to evolve. Therefore, the idea is that you are doing that right now. You are evolving in the area of money. You are evolving in the area of your society and what it means to be a member of your societies on this world.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
Yeah. I've in all my life, this short life, I've never seen so much change and growth, and I think it's although it's rough, it's still pointing in a very positive way.
If you were to go through the idea of instant transformation on your world, especially in the level of understanding and the energetic level that you have been at for many thousands of years, if you had that instant transformation that you keep asking about, the idea of destruction, devastation. Many of you have seen the idea of disaster movies, yes?
Yeah.
Well, there you
Yes.
go. In order to not go through that level of devastation, that level of destruction, you would not want to go through that instant process. The idea of those particular realities that were channeled through those people had the idea of destruction, had the idea of devastation, because they were able to move past those ideas and for you to be able to experience them on the silver screen instead of in your reality, you do not have these extreme rapid changes like they experienced.
Thank you. There's a lot. There's a lot of people talking about a imminent financial crash and all this. Are you telling us that perhaps it's not going to happen, and we're moving along?
Well, in some realities, yes, you will experience the idea of an extreme crash, but this is okay. The idea is it's more of a reset in nature. It's what allows you to see that money isn't as important as you think it is.
I see. Can one choose if they go through a reality where there's a crash or there isn't?
Yes. It all comes back to your vibration, your frequency that you put at every moment.
I see. Okay, I get it.
Please ask the question imbued with the idea of the dragon energy.
Ethan, we had a request to bring the dragon energy in, and I'm especially interested in the subject of numerology.
One moment, we will make the transition. We bring to you the idea of money. We bring to you the energy to create and to store the wealth inside of your being. For you and your energetic storehouse has all of the money you will need through your experience in your idea of wealth and connection. For we are connected to you as you are connected to us to be able to transfer the idea of how to collect this particular energy. We amplify our energy into your world through this conduit and his experience of wealth. We share both aspects of creation that exists within all of you at this time. We share our vibration of money to you now.
Thank you. How can one may amplify the vibration of money?
Hold on to the idea of gold. Hold on to the frequency of gold. The idea of gold is that which connects and is a good conduit for you to connect to. The vibration of gold never degrades, and understand that your inner core itself is that particular vibration. Or identify with the energy of gold and understand that you make your bed in the idea of gold and your vibration.
Thank you. That is a beautiful idea that I've not heard before, because we're taught money is bad and Midas touch, everything turns into gold, but not in a good way. So thank you for giving us a perspective on the gold and the connection.
One moment. The idea of the Midas touch that you referred to a moment ago is more of the idea that that particular being, King Midas, so completely identified with that particular vibration of gold, he was able to turn the world into gold. This is more metaphor in nature, not literal.
Thank you. May I speak with the dragon again, please?
One moment. Yes.
Dragon. There's a common image in our culture of the dragon sitting on a huge pile of gold treasures, coins. What does that symbolize, please?
We, as a vibration, do not degrade. We were depicted with that particular energy to be able to let you know the frequency that we vibrate at all the time. We embody and embrace the idea of gold as a frequency as part of our eternal being.
Thank you. Dragon, I hear that many countries are moving to the standard of gold. They're buying gold to back their currency against it. Is that part of what we're seeing?
You are seeing more people move closer to the vibration of money, the vibration, the frequency that comes along with that particular metal. Understand that nothing is worth anything, truly. It is only truly the value that you give to it.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
You have brought in the idea that there is not enough for you and your people. Therefore, you value those things that are not in a complete abundance in your world. But in reality, there is more than enough for all of you to have gold, to have money, to have an experience of your reality if you choose to live in accordance in vibration with the particular vibration that comes along with the gold itself and internalize that particular vibration in your reality.
Thank you. And that could be applied to anything in life, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
How could I use the energy of gold to improve my health and maintain health in excellent, perfect condition?
By embodying the idea of gold through your frequency, gold does not degrade in nature. The frequency is that of eternity, that which does not fall apart. Therefore, by embodying the idea of gold into your world, into your personal frequency, you would naturally embody this particular idea as well.
Very good. Thank you very much. Never crossed my mind.
See yourself internally when you close your eyes, engulfed in the frequency and the vibration of gold in color. Allow your particular body to become filled with this particular frequency. Then teach yourself to embody it even when your eyes are not closed. Eventually, when you have personified this particular frequency, you will see money and many other things, such as longevity, perfect health, start to materialize in your life because you are embodying the particular vibration that matches that frequency.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I feel it. How can
Yeah.
I bring the gold vibration to other people in my life?
By being the perfect example of that vibration and teaching your children to have that particular connection as well.
Thank you.
Be the example for those that need it. Understand that not everyone in your reality, in your experience, will choose to match that particular frequency.
Yes. And those who do not match their frequency, should I just disconnect and work with those who do match the frequency? Yes?
Be willing to allow yourself to shift to a reality that more consciously matches the frequency that you have embodied.
Yes. Thank you.
But also, you can open the door for those that need it, even just slightly.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Even a smile could change someone's life at some point.
By embodying this particular energy, you will project it out into the world around you. You will surround the world with everyone that you meet, every moment you touch, every person you meet will start also emanating this particular vibration, whether they know it or not.
Yes, I see it. Thank you very much for this. This is wonderful. Is there any specific message you'd like to give us today?
We have already delivered it.
Thank you very much for your connection today, Dragon.
That particular vibration, that particular frequency, and that consciousness will now be more actively integrated into these transmissions following from this moment forward.
Thank you very much.
Understand that when you connect to any vibration in particular, moving forward past the point of asking for those particular frequencies to come in, you will be integrating more of that particular energy into these transmissions.
Thank you very much, Ethan. And you did mention this for us once we connected with Melchizedek and once we connected with the Ra.
Yes.
Yes.
These are the particular frequencies that you as a culture need to integrate and make more as an active part of your society. Understand that you are not separate from anyone else. You are not of a different ilk. You are all connected. You are all part of the same vibration, the frequency, the same collective. But understand that as we move forward in your reality and on this particular timeline, you will see varying degrees of people changing.
Yes.
Be okay with that.
Yes. I do notice that people do come and leave, come into my life and leave, and it all, after you realize, like, it all happens in this in the perfect moment every time.
Yes. For those relationships that you do not allow to leave when they are of the right timing, you see pain and discord. You will start to see the pain that people have internally, not quite dealt with, played out in those relationships when they have reached their natural end.
Yes. It
It's
seems
okay.
to be. Yes.
It is okay for these to end.
Yes. It seems to me that when we're younger, maybe perhaps children, will have friends for much longer time, and my parents' generation and their parents' generation will have friends for life. But this is more rare now, and our friends come and go into our lives, but they do bring a special learning or message at that moment.
This is mainly because you are going through a period of rapid evolution. Therefore, the idea of lifelong friends constantly being there, always part of your life, is not necessary at this time. Understand that the version of that person that is relevant for your life at a future date may return, but understand it's okay if those particular people do not return because they are not of a similar vibration or in a similar place in life where they can maintain connection with you or with you with them.
Right, and you can still love them and send them loving thoughts and well wishing thoughts,
Yes.
and they would know.
Yes. Much
Yes.
in the way that if you see a person internally in your mind that you have not quite forgiven, that you are in a lot of pain from, whether it's an experience or even a younger version of yourself, if you forgive that person, that part of you, it no longer affects you.
Yes. Thank you.
And
I have a
understand that when we give you things such as what we just said, these are permission slips that you can use down the road to give yourself permission to be okay with those experiences, to move on from those particular vibrations and those people and those experiences that did happen. By no means are we trying to take away from your experience or your ability to feel the way you feel about a particular event. It's okay.
Thank you. I wrote in my notes, let know when to go.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
The energy flows where it needs to go.
Yes. Can we do a couple more questions?
Yes.
Thank you. Laura Lyons, aka Sohanama, is asking, is social media a negative aspect of our evolution?
Your social media reveals to you as a collective a belief system that has been propagated through your unconscious collective, but in a more easy to see way. Because these things are no longer hidden, you have, as a culture, as a collective, been able to deal with them.
Yes, thank you.
You have noticed since you have had the idea of social media, of your Facebooks, of your Instagrams, of your Twitters, your X, your many other social platforms, these things have been much more easily identified and been treated in a way to say you no longer wish to experience or have these things in your life.
Could you repeat that, please?
Your social medias give you a chance to see what is below the surface that many people have had hidden for most of their lives or through your experience. You have had people that you've known for many years reveal parts of them online through your collective consciousness, your physicalized form of that you did not realize, and you made a decision to no longer associate with that particular person.
Okay, thank you. Do you think that social media has a role in getting humans to act together to see more the other as themselves?
I would think you have already seen that happen in a sense, in a negative way. But ultimately, you've also seen many positive things come out of those particular experiences.
Yes, yes.
Understand, it's not this or that, it's this and that. And
Right.
eventually, this is that. When you reach the point where you see this is that and understand that it is your way of being, you don't see anything outside of yourself. You see everything inside of you, all of your experiences, the outward experiences as part of your internal world that you are currently dealing with.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Thank you. I have a question here from this dude. Can you ask about near death experiences? I've heard of some negative ones and would like some clarity on it.
The idea, in many cases, when you have gone through the idea of a near death experience, as you have termed it, it is your way of kind of rebooting yourself, showing you what you have been dealing with and giving you a chance to decide how would you like to move forward if you continue this particular life. It's a reset.
Right, because people that remember, they remember having a conversation and having a new outlook on life, and then they come
Yeah.
back.
They're be
Right,
given an opportunity to change.
right.
We can't express this to you and your people enough. This is all about change. There is no true negative. There is no true positive. It is giving you a chance to decide what is true for you and what you would like to experience throughout the rest of your particular experience. If you do not continue or you do not make a great enough change, you'll be given other opportunities where you can make that change again, whether you want to die or whether you want to continue on with the life in a new way. It's your choice.
Yes, yes, yes. Because I've noticed that if I don't conquer my fear on a certain subject, it'll come back until I do whatever I don't want to do, and then it's done.
Yes, the
Yeah,
lessons keep coming back until you use them.
right. Thank you, Ethan. Uh, I have two questions left for today.
Yes.
The first one is on some point it seems to me that perhaps people are more lonely these days because the friends, like we spoke, the friends come and go and the experiences come and go, but you seem to stay like in the middle of all these experiences coming and going. and a lot of people live by themselves, what would you? And I think they do feel lonely. Like, what would you tell them?
They have been in echo chambers that have been particularly negative, that have driven them down the route to isolate themselves. Also, because of the acceleration of your species and acceleration as we move through this time, the isolation in many cases for many of you who are going through these experiences are more along the lines of allowing you to really look at what you believe, really look at what's important to you. Or when the noise is there, it's easy to move along with the crowd, where when you are by yourself, you're being given a chance to really look at who and what you are to decide what you want to be and who you want to be.
Okay, thank you very much. So being by yourself is good for reflection and personal work and growth.
Yes.
Yes,
That is
yes,
why it has been there for thousands of years. That is why many of your wise people have moved into the forest to actually have solitude, have a chance to really look at what's important to them and who they
yes.
want to be.
Thank you. Thank you very much for today. The last thing for today is I really want to thank you for bringing the idea of gold and abundance together and to shower yourself in gold and be the gold.
Yes,
And is there anything I can do for the channel at this point?
you are doing everything you need at this time. Good day.
Good day. Thank you very much.